This is a wonderful chapter from one of the books that Swamiji wrote. I love the title of the chapter. It is called Questions and Questions. Not questions and answers, questions and questions. And so the questioner says, tell me, what shall I do with my life? And Swamiji answers, do that which makes you happy. The questioner says, I do not know what happiness is. Can you tell me what happiness is? And he answers, happiness is the state of mind in which you do not feel any pain. Could you please tell me what is pain? Is the next question. And his answer is lack of happiness. So I thought that was really beautiful. Why is it that I cannot exactly pinpoint the state of happiness and express it in words? What is that state of suffering or trouble or pain, which is also difficult to describe and put into words? And he answers, there is a being within you who is totally free from any experience which can be called either happiness or a condition of pain. It turns our attention to a state that is not of the waking state, which is to say the human state of experiencing. Experiences can be high, can be low, can be happy, can be sad, even can be neutral. There is a state which is not bound in any experience. And the tendency is to think, well, if I don't experience, then I will not feel fulfilled. There'll be no purpose of my life. It will be a kind of void. And just simply to say, this is only the lack of imagination of the mind that has no idea what is beyond itself. Only when we assume, and that's what the mind is very good at doing, it assumes, and that's a part of its survival. We assume that the person who's coming towards me in their car is going to stay in their lane. We have to assume a lot, because otherwise we'll be in a state of terror and confusion all the time. So I assume I'm going to wake up in the morning. I assume the sun is going to shine. I assume after some days of sun, the rain is going to come. So we live in a world of assumption. We build up an unconscious state of assumption as to what could the state be that is not of our human experience. And this is where meditation becomes so valuable, because it really is to sit with just observing and not having any projection of what should or shouldn't be in your meditation. But this ability to watch all experience, which in the meditation is basically the experience of thinking, but in our day-to-day lives, it's also the experience of doing, experience of interacting, experience of feeling. And of course, feelings and thoughts come in your meditation. But because the practice is to allow this experiencing consciousness to be observed and not to need any explanation in that which you observe, not attributing any sense of identification to it. This is the practice of non-expectation, unprejudiced observing. One big prejudice that we live by in our day-to-day lives is that we assume and we imagine. So we imagine what this altered state could be. It can go in either direction. Being open to meditation, and all of us open to hearing this knowledge that there is another state of consciousness that is not bound in the waking state, not limited to the waking state also. You can go in either way. You can either project your imagination that that state is nothing and bleak and empty, or you can also imagine some kind of exalted choirs of angels and all kinds of imaginations as to the exalted state of it. So I find it interesting when I read that. What is happiness? A state where there's no pain. When you describe something as to what it is not, in terms of meditation, it is helpful rather than sitting with the imagination of what it is. So there is great patience in the practice of meditation and astute observing to see all our preconceived ideas, all our projections and imaginations and expectations. They're all only to be watched. Let them come, let them go, let them come, let them go. So let's start with a meditation just for 10-15 minutes and just bring this into your contemplation as you observe. Of course, anytime that the mind feels too involving, bring in the mantra Amaram Ham, Madaram Ham, or simply So Ham, I am this ever-present being, So Ham, or Amaram Ham, Madhuram Ham. This mantra helps you to not get mixed in what you observe. You're just observing a repetition of a sound, a vibration, and watch how your expectations, they will come. They will weave in and out this time of sitting. But ultimately, we are not grasping and getting mixed in what we observe. So let's take a few minutes to just practicing patience, practicing observing, practicing non-concluding, non-projecting, non-assuming. And we'll discuss what our findings are. All that you observe comes and goes. The observer is ever unmixed. For one who has not been able to touch the depth or benefit of meditation, have the assumption that we are sitting doing nothing, as we are not producing anything, not talking anything, not making money, making food, or making chit-chat. But in the absence of all that action, something powerful is arising within. The unfoldment of a fourth state of consciousness, transcended state. Transcended does not mean that nothing happens. It is not a void. It is the bright light of knowledge. Knowledge not of things and information of things, but knowledge of yourself. Answering the deepest question, who am I? With the revelation in this bright light that reveals, I am I. I am. I is prior to thought, prior to experience, prior to our assumptions, our prejudices, our conditions. I is. Can never be devoid of I am. Conscious presence of being alive, not due to body, but just the conscious presence of life. So this chapter heading intrigued me, questions and questions. And in the end, the information is understanding the question being, who am I? Who is the I that is neither happy nor sad, that is neither gaining nor losing, that is neither of waking or dreaming? This who am I will be answered in the state of meditation. I am I. I am simply I, ever present, ever free. Having received this information of who you are, I am, we sit with it. We let it become a part of us, so it is not just a theory, but it is our direct realization as we sit to realize I does not change. I does not begin. I does not end. It is presence. It is not dependent on the body for its existence. The existence of I gives rise to body and all that which comes with the body, thoughts and feelings, action. Meditation is not something you can guess at or project your mind to try and imagine. I is free from any label, any description, because I is simply presence. I am. You can never lose I am I. I am I cannot be diminished, cannot be compared, because all I's are the same. I am. There can be no ownership. I am, for all share the existence. I am. There can be no boastfulness. I am, for there is nothing to compare. There is no opposition. I am. This is the deepest knowledge that one is lucky in their lifetime if they understand the importance of knowing I am I. Take some time in meditation to reflect on this simple technique that all that changes pass by. What remains is I am. I am I. Amaram Hum. Mataram Hum. Take a few more minutes. Take your own time as you come out of the meditation. I'll just read one more paragraph that I really enjoyed. The work of meditation. I love that, describing meditation as work, because so often our idea is that meditation is not work, because our society tend to value work over everything else. So therefore it's described as work. The work of meditation not only satisfies our eternal quest or desire for peace, but also provides us with the wisdom by which we develop the discrimination to know what action to attempt and what action to give up. So not only is it about fulfillment within ourselves. But when we open our eyes and we are in the field of action, then it also brings this discernment, here described as discrimination, what action to attempt and what action to give up. So meditation gives us both the release from within as we are meditating, the freedom that comes from not being attached to every thought and its meaning, also carries on, continues after closing our eyes, to bring the wisdom as to know how to act, which actions should be adopted and which actions can be given up. This discernment is an aspect of the result of meditation. I'd like to open it for anyone to share something that came to them.